Howdy, welcome. We are live, and this is the first for us because we are driving down the Ohio Turnpike right now. I am obviously in the passenger seat, and there is the driver, Jennifer. She wouldn't wear the headphone. She wouldn't wear the headphone because she wants to hear. She's being a good, safe driver. So here's the deal: if this peters out, if this drops, and it drops a couple of times, we'll pull in at a rest area up the way and be able to continue the broadcast from there. This is, there should be a good enough cell signal all the way, but you never know. We're sorry we missed last week's Ask Us Anything, but we had no cell signal there. And we were up in Algonquin Provincial Park in Canada, and so we were unable to get a good enough cell signal. So hopefully this will work. We're kind of between rest areas here on the Ohio Turnpike. We're a little bit east of Cleveland, and there should be good signals on there, I would think, from now on. At least that is the hope. So I got some questions, and we'll kind of get to the questions as we can. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on a couple of things. One, we are just back now from Hershey and the America's Greatest RV Show. They closed the gates just a couple hours ago, and we hit the road and have 525 miles to go tonight. We're kind of moving as we go now because we want to pick up Bo. He's at our daughter's, and we need to pick him up and don't want to get there too late after, if their household all goes to sleep. We don't want to wake them up. And we got a full day tomorrow. So that's why we're kind of on the move here on the Ohio Turnpike. It was a beautiful weekend in Hershey. We saw, oh my gosh, 1,400 RVs on display, over 3 football fields in length of an area. Lots of new stuff. For some of the things that caught our mind, a really cool overlanding type vehicle from American Fastbacks on a Jeep system. It's a new Erwin-Heimer owned company that has a great tent on the roof, automatically goes up. It's really cool. We'll have a video on that. Erwin-Heimer also introduced a brand new Sprinter-based Heimer RV, and the Heimer that they have is on the Sprinter. It's called the Active S, and we'll show that. They also showed a brand new SS Agile Road Trek, which is, that short 19-foot Sprinter chassis, all in white. The interior is all white. It's really cool. Plus, we saw some really great Class A's, some Class C's, some great B pluses. Leisure Travel Vans has a B plus with a kind of a bike garage. You got to see that. That's really cool, and we'll be showing that. And then Airstream has 3 different new Class B models. One's a B plus with new features, 2 new models and a B plus. The Airstream introduced a short Sprinter as well, and we got video of all of that. It's so much more. I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to spend all week really working hard on a kind of a Hershey debrief for you, and we'll put all this stuff. It'll be a long video. We had a lot of fun as well. We'll show you that. That'll come out Thursday right here on the YouTube channel. That will be Thursday at our regular time. So every Thursday morning we have a new video, and that will be our Hershey 2018 review. Hershey says it's the largest RV show in the country. It probably was, this is their 50th anniversary, 40 years ago. But right now, the folks out in California at the Pomona show, the folks in Tampa at the Tampa Winter Show, they would argue with that, but we'll see. What did I buy myself? I know many of you are going to ask me that. This is really cool. I wanted to buy a bunch of stuff. I wanted a new dash cam, a couple other things. Couldn't find anything that was quality. But this is really cool. This surprised me. This is an advanced air purification system. It is a portable one made particularly for RVs. And it's from a really cool company called Go Green Environmental. I bought this, and then we bought a big unit for our home that it basically purifies the air, and it is really amazing. We plugged it in last night after we got it at the show, and we've been doing a lot of cooking here in the RV because, I'm on that special eating program. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And Oh my goodness, it cleaned the air like I have never experienced before. So we have that. It cost a little under $200 if you buy it on Amazon. Um, I don't know if I'll be able to put a link on this before it goes up. Certainly not tonight, I can't. But I'll tell you much more about it. I'll do a whole review. But it takes minimal power drain, and you wouldn't believe how clean the air feels in here. So that's the one thing I bought. You got to admit, right, Jennifer, that air thing?
It really is good for us because right now I'm frying food for heat. So, frying gets pretty smelly.
Yeah. So
Nice
my
food.
I told you I'd talk to you about my eating program, and I was going to use this as kind of a way to update everybody. So I was going to update you last week when I had lost about 3.5 pounds last Sunday. That was after being on the diet for about 3 or 4 days. Well, I've now been on it 10 days, and I can tell you that I have lost 8 pounds. Now, I said diet. It's not a diet. It's a life-changing program that I'm involved with. You can go back a couple of videos, and you can see the interview that I did about how RVing can be unhealthy for you. And we interviewed a weight loss doc who kind of an expert, and we got on his program. It's more of a ketogenic, and you've heard of the keto programs. I can tell you all about some of that stuff later on, but I promised that I would give you and be accountable to you how we did. And I did. I've down 8 pounds in 10 days. Now, it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge because we've been on the road. We were up in Algonquin Provincial Park and one of our gatherings, and I couldn't eat there. I couldn't eat with everybody else and all the good stuff. What's that?
I took very good care of you.
Yep, Jennifer says she took very good care of me, and she did. She prepared my meals right here in our road trek, and they were awesome. And we did the same thing when we were here at Hershey. This is why it's so nice to have an RV.
We ate out.
Oh, we ate out a couple of times. Yeah, oh, did we ever eat out? We ate out, but I had steak, and
Sabotaged it.
yeah, one of the things that really grabbed me is I went to this restaurant. I said, look, I got to have no sugar on it. No sugar, no problem. Well, then they bring it out. It was cooked in a wine sauce. Well, I got news for you. Wine is sugar. So I had to scrape that off and do the best I can. But anyway, we've done good. And we've eaten in the thing. Here's why it's...
Tomorrow.
What?
We'll know tomorrow.
We'll know tomorrow because I didn't bring our scale. So we'll see how I do. I was 8 pounds down, frankly, on Thursday when we left to come down here. So we'll see how I am tomorrow. And I'm hoping I've lost a couple more. So I'll tell you a whole bunch more about that. I just don't want to run out of bandwidth while we're driving down the Ohio Turnpike. Let me do some quick questions as best we can. Sarah Walker, we've been debating buying a Class C 22-foot, and you have me convinced that a Class B is the best. All right. What's the exact make and model of yours, and would there be room to store a tent for 3 kids to camp? Yeah, ours would. Ours is the Road Trek CS Adventurous XL, Sarah, and ours is like 24 feet long, almost 24. It's XL stands for extra long, and that's a normal 21-foot Sprinter. It's about 14 inches longer, and it's got a big, we call it a basement underneath the sofa. So you could store a tent easily under there. You could also put a little storage box on it and take it. But it is a really nice unit. Let me just kind of, I don't think it's dark enough. You can't really see. There's the kitchen there. There's the big refrigerator. Yeah, Jennifer wants to know how old your kids are, but there's a big refrigerator, which if you have 3 kids, you have a lot of food. All right, I think YouTube will stitch this together. I hope they do. And we'll see how that all works. Somebody just said it's hard to hear. Well, I'm in a car. I'm in the road trek driving down a road, so a bumpy road, as a matter of fact, the Ohio Turnpike. So, Sarah, I hope that answered your question. It will work. Yeah. Let's see. Northern is a little hard to hear. Have volume all the way up. Well, I can bring mine up a little bit, and let's see if that helps. There's my volume all the way up, and hopefully the noise is not too bad on the road. So thank you for telling me that. It's hard to get, hey, look at the sun. It's like we're professionally lit.
Right in my eyes.
It's right in Jennifer's eye. Maureen Tweedy says, my husband did a similar diet with his cardiologist, and bad cholesterol dropped. Yeah, it is a very popular diet. It's a pretty safe diet. It's a healthy diet. This ketogenic diet, and it's a lifestyle change. I don't want to say I'm on a diet. I want to say I'm on a healthy eating program. Let's see. Mark tells me, yep, the video is stitched together, so that's good. If I drop out again, I'm just going to keep coming right up on it with it, and we'll see. That's the problem. We're going from cell to cell. I think, though, because we're going to be coming into greater Cleveland area, that the cells should be pretty good. And Mark says that did it when I brought the volume up, so that's good. My husband is retiring in June, says Dale, and we are researching buying a Class B RV. Well, this is, if you could get to an RV show, I don't know what part of the country you live in, Dale, but in our newsletter, which comes out tomorrow, by the way, our RV Lifestyle newsletter, we list all the RV shows around the country every week. So if you haven't subscribed, go to roadtrekking.com. That's our website, our travel website. Look in the right-hand column, and you will see sign up for our newsletter, and you can get a free packing list when you do that. And if you sign up tonight, you'll get it first thing in the morning. And at the bottom of that, every week we list all the RV shows. So your best way to research is to go to an RV show where you can look around and see all of them and take a good look at them. Bill says, you can hear me, but Jennifer's faint with no mic. Well, here's Jennifer's mic. And I had it on her originally. Actually, I put it on the overhead like this, but it fell down. And she refuses to wear it while she's driving. Now, even though you don't have to listen to the headphones, I got to trust her because she's driving. And so, but she's listening and she's hearing me, right?
Yes.
Yep. So there you go. But thank you, Bill. But that's why you don't hear Jennifer. So it's not going to work. My father passed away 2 years ago, and Mom, brother, and I are thinking of getting an RV. My aunt has one. Well, good for you. You'll love one. Now, that's a lot of people. You probably want to start looking if it's going to be 3 of you, and I don't know if you have any pets, but you may want to be looking at a Class C or something even bigger, or a towable trailer. Man, there are some great towable trailers out there, and you'll find out. My husband and I go to Texas Roadhouse and split a 6-ounce sirloin, baked potato and veggies, butter on the side, and we each get a salad. Very filling, believe it or not. Yeah, we do that often. Actually, we were looking for one last night. We went to, I guess I'll say where it is. Went to Hoss's Steakhouse in, what city was that? It wasn't Hershey's. It was, why can't I remember the name of the city? But it was right near Hershey. And I went in to get a filet. That's usually what I get, a small 6-ounce filet. And they didn't have any. The steakhouse. So we ended up back into town, went deep into town, and we found some pretty good stuff. So it's great. Jimmy says, nice to see you all at Hershey. Judy and Jim from Levittown. Well, it was great to meet you guys, too. I think the most fun thing we had at this show was meeting all of you guys. There were so many. We felt like real celebrities. We were walking. The place was packed. There were over 20,000 people wandering around there yesterday. And we could sometimes not even get down the aisles without people coming up to us and, recognizing us. One point, somebody came up and said, hey, I know that voice. And I think Jennifer was talking, and it was just so encouraging to us. Because, we're talking now. I love doing this show because I can see your comments on the right. But oftentimes, we putting the videos out, and even when we're doing the podcast, we feel like we're talking to a vacuum. We don't know if anybody's even out there. And we say, why do we do this? So it was really encouraging. Was not it?
It was.
It was, she says. So Jennifer's still in here. She just can't talk because she is driving, and you'll find out. It gets kind of crazy. More questions. What type of caravan or RV can I buy for me and my wife to go to the Kruger National Park? That's in South Africa. That is affordable and most spacious. I'd like to buy a new one. Do you know something about a teardrop? Well, we know quite a bit about teardrops, especially today. If you're looking at teardrops, here's the company. And we'll have a video on this Thursday. You'll see it. New Camp, I believe it is. NUTCAMP. U-CAMP. I hope I got that name right. They're built by Amish, and they are the nicest teardrops I've seen. We looked at a 15-footer and an 18-footer that we did video on, and one of them, it has a finer bathroom than you find in even Class C motorhomes. So we really like those. Now, it sounds, when you say what type of caravan, that tells me you're in Europe someplace, I bet. And if you're in Europe, I don't know the market there. Heimer is the big company to buy RVs from. So I would certainly look at Heimer in Europe. But if you're in this country and you're looking for a teardrop in the U.S. or Canada, New Camp, NU-CAMP. Check out their models and tune into our video on Thursday when we show you everything we saw at Hershey. It was really amazing. But I bet that would be a ball camping in South Africa. Yeah, so I don't know where you're from, but you'd have to find something. I would bet that if I were you, I would start looking at our caravan rentals or RV rentals. Look in, the big town. Start at Johannesburg and see there. I am sure you could probably rent something if you want to, and try it out that way and see how it looks. That would be my advice. Nice to see you guys with Traveling Robert. Robert was Robert Morales, who has a blog as well. Yeah, we met him, and we met Mark Polk and Don Polk, our friends from RV Education 101, and we met the Fit RV couple, and did an interview with them, and we'll have them on the podcast actually in a little while. So all of us RVing blogger couples had a great time, and it was great to meet Traveling Robert too, who is out there. Gary says, hi, is there going to be a road trekking gathering in Austin, Texas in February? Not from road trekking. Actually, I'm not sure what or if there will be any official road trekking gatherings at all, when their schedules will be next year. We just don't know. The only one I know is an unofficial one that Jennifer and I are doing in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in January at Tequamanon Falls State Park. You can search our roadtrekking.com blog, and if there's information there, you can keep going. She wants to know if I need to pull in a rest area. Yeah, we're doing great so far. I don't know, and there's nothing planned for Austin. To tell you the truth, we are going to be doing a lot of traveling and we want to do a lot of Texas traveling, Jennifer and me, next year. We plan to be in Texas in March or April. So maybe what we'll do, and as we travel around the country, maybe what we'll do is have kind of like unofficial meetups. We'll just meet at a certain park or a campground or a cool area in the area, or a restaurant even, and we'll try and do those as we're traveling along, and that would be really fun. Let's see. Camping Adventures. It was nice meeting you at Hershey. Be careful with this long drive home. Thank you very much. It was great meeting you guys too. We ended up putting a lot of the people who met us on camera because it was just so fun to see them, and many of them use comments here or talk to us on the podcast, and so we have a lot of pictures of all the fans and followers that we met, and it will help us remember you guys too, because it was really, as I said, very encouraging to have everybody so nice. Don't you think? What? Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, the people were really, they were just so encouraging. Mike F., all of the Class Bs were so fancy. Well, they are. It's the technology has made them so easy now to take out and boondock. You can camp comfortably in these things. King-size beds, self-contained bathrooms with a refrigerator and with a shower. It's pretty nice, and they just keep getting better and better thanks to solar power, lithium technology that Road Trek, for example, has pioneered. Everybody's trying to come up with ways to boondock and do more off the grid, and that's kind of what we've been a part of now. This is our 7th year, and we've been doing more and more of it, and have been championing that. And it's so neat to see the industry coming to awareness that people want to boondock. And the reason why, to be frank, is because most of our campgrounds are in such bad shape. Or they're so crowded, the good ones, that you can't get in without advance reservations for months in advance. So boondocking takes you to a whole different level of camping. That's really why we camp. We like being out there in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, fully self-contained in this thing and enjoying all of nature. And that's, I think, the trend that is driving a lot of the Class B, the teardrop, the small, lightweight towables. We saw a brand new towable from Road Trek, a new towable. Now, we know that Heimer has those really cool little towable trailers, but I didn't realize until we were at the show that Road Trek now makes one, the Ariba Retro. And if you watch the video Thursday, we had a lot of fun making that part of the video. Really a cool little towable. It's very lightweight, and a lot of people are doing that. And that's because it's so easy to get out there. You can tow it with any kind of vehicle, and you can go just about any place you want. Gary wants to know, what days are you two going to be at the Pomona RV show? That's the big California RV show, sponsored by the the RVIA, the Recreation Vehicle Industry Association, in Pomona, California. It starts the first week of October. And doesn't it run for like 2 weeks? Yeah.
But we'll be the first weekend.
But we'll be the first weekend. I think it's October 5th and 6th, Gary, and we'll be hanging out with the Road Trek people right there. Mike says, surprising she liked the 170 extended the most, and I thought she'd want the 140. Mike, I'm not sure which. Oh, I think you're talking about the Sprinter-based vehicle. Is that what you're looking at? The 170. I don't know the model name, and I don't know what the 145. I think you're talking about wheelbase or model number, and I don't know which model you were looking at. Elliot and Tina Rock, thank you for the info and input to the boondocking trend. Yeah, you know, the question we were asked, Elliot and Tina, more than almost any other question, when people would sit down, they'd say, so we want to try boondocking, people would say. And they'd say, how safe is it? And we have to say that, you know, this is our almost 7 years now. It'll be 7 years in spring. We've never had an issue boondocking. And that's in very remote places, and that's even in some very crowded Walmart parking lots, though we don't like to do that. We prefer Cracker Barrel parking lots. It's very safe. And, you know, for somebody who just wants to try it, I've been working on a boondocking 101 guide, an ebook, and we've been working on it pretty hard now for some time, and we hope to have that come out. We might sell that one because it's been a lot more work. It's an actual real book, an ebook, and but so many people have all these questions, and you know, like, what do you do about food? How do you handle, you know, your tanks from getting too full? How do you manage batteries? So we're putting this all together, and I think it'll be done pretty soon, and I'll let you know here and elsewhere. But give it a try. Just try it for a weekend. Just go, you know, find a state forest near you. Most state forests have dispersed camping, and go try it someplace that, you know, if you had to get back to civilization and take you 2 minutes to get off, you know, find a road, try that and see how you like it. And I guarantee you will be hooked. It's that much fun. Would you ever fly to South Africa and try out the Kruger National Park camping? In a heartbeat, pal. We've been to South Africa. We absolutely love South Africa. We've done stories there. We've been to Africa a couple times, and most of the countries there, you know, back in our journalism days. But I would love to do an off-road trip to Kruger. But there's one video I saw. I got to make sure it's not out there. And it was a video. I don't want Jennifer to hear this. It was a video of a camper who ran over a black mamba snake. Okay, right? And apparently it got wrapped up in the tire wheel and got inside the motor of. He was in I think a Land Cruiser or something, and it worked its way out and right into the floor of the driver's seat, and it bit him. And you know how dangerous those things. Well, he lived. The guy lived, but that's the only dangerous thing. I got to not let her see that video, but I would love to do that. That would be awesome. That would be really great. What do you think of the new hanged to the Pleasureway Lexer? The Pleasureway Lexer, it's a nice unit. The Pleasureway makes very popular Class Bs and B pluses. A little larger. More B pluses are really a Class C, but the industry calls them a B plus just because they're not quite as big as those big overhang Class C's. So, but it's really a C, even though they call it a B plus. And Pleasure makes a bunch of those. We did a video on them at the Super B show that we visited earlier this spring in Phoenix, Arizona. I looked at what they had here at Hershey, and I didn't see anything new that jumped out at me as being new. And we talked to their reps, and they didn't really have anything new to show either. So, I didn't really shoot anything with the new Pleasure Ways because we kind of did that back a few months ago. So I appreciate that. Mike says your broadcasts are a highlight to our travels. Well, thank you, Mike. That's what we would love them to be. It is so kind of you to say that, and we really appreciate it. How many miles were on the last motorhome when you sold it? About 55, I think. About 55,000 miles. Yeah. Now this one, we've had this one. I can't see. This one's got about 35, I think, right now. And but we have been on an incredible driving thing. Like we're driving 525 miles today. There's the road, by the way. We're on the Ohio Turnpike. For those of you who are just coming in, and we're coming up to Cleveland. We're just east of Cleveland. And it's a beautiful sunset. I can maybe show you that. Will that show up a little bit? Does that show? Yeah. That's nice. Jennifer's glad that it's kind of dipped below because she was having trouble with the sun in her eyes as she drives. That's another question that everybody asks. They all want to know, does Jennifer drive? Well, as you can see, she does indeed drive. We have kind of a rule when we're on the road that we try to follow, and that is about an hour and a half, maybe 2 at the most, and then we switch drivers. We kind of do it with mileage, but it works, an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then when we switch, we try and get out and walk around the vehicle, run around it a couple of times and stretch. And here she's got words. What?
RV people said when you get out, stop 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, our pals, Stephanie from the Fit RV, who, we'll have him on the show. We met him at the thing. We were talking to them and telling them about our plans, and she said, spend 15 minutes at a stop and run around, do push-ups against the side. So that's kind of how we try and do that, and it's a lot of fun. Does Jennifer find the lane assist and especially the blind side assist alert helpful while driving? Yes, she does. Yes. And I don't know if we can demonstrate it.
Rid of that thing on the back, cargo box.
Yeah, she does, Bev. And it really is nice. Now, I'll see if there's a car parking, and I don't know if I can show it, but yeah, the lane assist is really nice. It beeps, and you might hear it a couple times. Jen, is there anybody? Just pull in that lane. Let's see if I can hear it. That little lane enough.
Didn't do it.
It didn't do it. Well, okay. Oh, I guess I see why, because we had the turn signal on. So, but yeah, it's really nice if you're kind of wandering off the lane, and you get a little warning light in the mirrors on these Sprinters, that little yellow triangle that somebody's approaching you. So, you know, if they're in your blind spot, and then it's red. She's going to say something.
I made you get rid of that box on the back because it made the lights on all the time.
Yeah. She's talking about, if you looked at our video from even last week, we had a box, a storage box that we had on the back in the trailer hitch. And it was great. It was nice to have all that extra room, but it disabled the lane assist thing, the blind spot assist. So that little warning light was always on the mirrors. But it's nice. It shows yellow when somebody's approaching in your blind spot, and then when they're right next to you, it shows red. So we like them. That's a great safety feature, and we have them always on. And I had to get rid of that great box that we had. So, well, that was a sad thing to do, but it's good. Let's see. Rick, as a retired fitness professional, I was wondering how you and Jennifer and the adverse of prolonged sitting, core stability, for example. Yeah, that is the key, sitting. You know, Rick, if you're a professional, and as you know, and as those who listen to our podcast from a couple of episodes back, and the video interview is right here on the channel. Afterwards, you can look at it. I did a piece that is RVing dangerous to your health, and there's a thing called sitting disease, and it's as bad as smoking a pack and a half of cigarettes. If you spend 4 to 5 hours a day sitting, it's really bad for you. That's why, like our fitness watches will tell you get up, if you can set yours, and mine tells me to breathe. Never had a problem doing that. But what they mean is a nice deep cleansing breath. But the big thing for us on the road, and I don't want to rehash what I talked about before, but for me personally, is you eat like you're on vacation all the time, and you can't do that. And so I've gone on a pretty radical eating program. It'll last for about 60 days, and then it's just pure keto diet from then on, which is really a rich, wonderful diet. The biggest thing I've done is just, if people are wondering to go back, is I've given up sugar. No sugar, none. And I have given up carbohydrates, which, produces sugar. So other than that, it's a normally a pretty easy diet to follow. And now that we're home, I get lots of fruit, I get lots of salads, I get protein, lean, grass-fed beef, that kind of stuff. But the big thing is exercise. We belong to Anytime Fitness, which is a national chain. There are other ones out there that you can belong to as well, where you can go in and you can work out. You can use the shower. You get up, Jennifer. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. Oh, looks like we got... Yeah, I'll show it to you in a minute. It's a gorgeous sunset here in Ohio. We are at exit 152 entering Lorain County, Ohio. And that's on the eastern outskirts of Cleveland, and that's where we are. Bill notices that we're breaking the 3:30 rule. Well, we gotta. We originally had plans to have a really nice night, and we were going to do this broadcast from the Hershey Hotel. Here's that sunset. Let me show you that. Look at that. Will it show? There we go. Look at this. Yeah. Really pretty sunset, isn't it? So we were originally going to do this from the Hershey Hotel, which is a really nice luxury hotel in Hershey, Pennsylvania, obviously. And but something came up that we have to be home tomorrow in our Michigan home to run some errands, and then we also have to pick up our dog tonight. So we took off from the show early afternoon and have been driving ever since. We have about a 530-mile drive that we're going to go before the end of the night. And it's a little bumpy, and I hope it's not too noisy, but it's there. Tell Ingrid to go for the plunge. Mike, you're giving secret messages to people. Am I missing something?
Go for the plunge.
Oh, maybe to go and buy one of these. Oh, okay. Sharon, some of the estuaries on Ohio Turnpike have electric hookups. Have you seen them? Yeah, the one we just had dinner at a minute ago before we started the program. That they have dumps, RV dumps, so you can get rid of the black water, and it's very nice. Yeah, we're finding that increasingly at rest stops all across the interstate system in North America, and that is really, really nice. Cynthia, I really like the Chevy GMC chassis. Any suggestions you can make for a B or B plus van on that chassis, please? Thanks in advance. Well, Cynthia, you're going to buy a used one. Call Nick at SunshineStateRVs.com. If anybody has a bunch of used Chevy GMC Class Bs, it would be Nick at Sunshine State RVs in Gainesville, Florida. They've got they specialize in used Class Bs. He has the largest inventory of Class Bs that I know of anywhere, used ones, and he's a great guy, and he'll at least be able to steer you right. There's none at the show. Nobody's making them anymore. I don't know whether GM stopped making the chassis or whether, I don't know for sure. I'm just told that there are no chassis to get. I can tell you that not one RV manufacturer demonstrating at Hershey was showing a Chevy GMC chassis. We do see an increasingly large number of RVers RV manufacturers going to the Ford Interstate chassis. That's kind of a van, not quite as big as the Sprinter van, but it's going to be a major player. It is already in the RV world, the Class B world, the Class B plus world. Even some Class C's are using it. So, but the GMC chassis are gone. Yeah, my wife wants me to show you these clouds. I don't know how well this will pick up, but I'm going to do one more as we make a turn here, and we'll kind of show you what it's really pretty. This is when you like to. Our favorite time to drive is actually at night, and that's where we get into trouble with our 3:30 rule because we have a great time, easy time driving, and there's less traffic, and it's not so bad. Well, we missed the sun going down. It just dropped below the horizon, which is on the other side of those trees. But you can see the pastel colors, I hope. Yeah, you can see those. And maybe we can get a little bit of a glimpse here as we come along. Now, I don't know why I'm showing you the sunset here in Ohio. You probably can go out your own window wherever you happen to be and see even a better one. But there's a quick example of what we were looking at as we were coming. You see the... Yeah, we've kind of missed the peak of it, but it's a fun time to drive, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. So anyway, that's where we are there. Let's kind of go to some others. Have you given a name to your new Sprinter? You know, we just call it the RV. I'm not into naming things that are inanimate.
It's the Adventure Mobile.
Jennifer calls it the Adventure Mobile. She calls every one of ours that. But we don't give it a name, nor do we have a stuffed animal. We got a real animal, our dog Bo, and that's one of the reasons we're rushing to get back, because we want to get him before the work week starts and bring him back home with us tonight. And okay, the real reason is because this woman misses her dog. She wants her Bobo. I don't want to call him Bobo. He's a vicious killer dog that jeopardizes all the squirrels in the neighborhood, but she misses Bo. So we're going to try and get to our daughters before our daughter and the grandkids and their whole household goes to sleep, and that's why we're going. Some of you are commenting. Dale's noticing the sunset. Deb's noticing the sunset. Grace likes the sunset. And then here we go. Somebody else talking about core strength playing a big role in posture, digestion, and health.
Yes.
Thank you for your comment. Okay. All right, you fitness freaks. Should I do yoga? Don't say yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Jennifer's been after me to do yoga. Okay, I'll do yoga, but you got to make me one promise. Okay?
You don't have to wear tights.
I don't have to wear tights, but even a bigger one, no pictures. Okay? And if I whip out my cell phone and decide I'm going to show a picture because I can't resist it, you got to say, don't do that. Unless maybe after I've lost a bunch more weight. So this idea of me sharing my lifestyle and the eating program I'm on and fitness is a big part of that. It's harder to do on the road. It really is. Our friend, the Fit RV, Stephanie from the Fit RV, told us about bands and all that stuff. Jennifer's really good. She every place she can go. I find it easy to say, oh, I got to put a new blog up or I got to edit some video. But tomorrow morning we will be at the health club, will we not?
We will be at the dog park.
Lord willing, we'll be at the dog park and then the health club. Bo gets his workout every morning first thing, and then we go afterwards, and then the day's half over. That's why I work every night. All right, let's go to the Urban Warrior. My road trek has both a macerator and a gravity dump. I've noticed that when I use the macerator, the black water tank leaves about 1 to 1.5 gallons. Have you noticed the same? Well, I don't know how much it leaves in there, but a little bit. You know, when you use the macerator, you get it kind of empty, and then it kind of spurts a little bit. So I let it spurt a lot. And, I don't know. I'm sure there's some in there. And then I always put, I run the water through the toilet. I flush the toilet with clear water going into that tank for 30, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, so I get more water in it. The problem with all the black water tanks is, the fuel, they're the gauge, that shows how much is in it. Those are all inaccurate. What happens is crud, use your imagination, gets stuck. Toilet paper that gets stuck on the sensors, and they don't read accurate. They always show it's, you know, 3/4 full or stuff. Our friend from the Fit RV, as a matter of fact, did a test to see if that old trick of riding around with putting a bag of ice in your black water tank and then driving around, does that really help? And it didn't. He built a clear glass tank, and he said he got a Hollywood recipe for poop. You know, they use in films, and he made up a concoction and sloshed that around, let it caked on the thing a little bit,
You have to put a link so people can
and then he filled it, you know, and with ice, and drove around bumpy roads, turning around, and then he checked, and it made no difference at all. So for whatever it's worth, that trick doesn't do it. The best thing I have seen is kind of a pressure washer on a hose, where you go in and you just kind of open up the toilet drain, and you stick that wand down there, and you use pressure washer to get not a full pressure. You know, it's a little garden hose attachment that gives you a high pressure, but it's not like, you know, that you'd use to wash a deck or anything, so it's not going to break anything. So that will do it. All right. Well, I think that does it pretty much. Lots of you talking about the sunset view, and I want to thank you all for that. That was great. I think this worked good. We lost a little bit. We lost a little bit of connectivity, you know, 5 minutes in or so, but then it picked right up, and it's been solid ever since. Oh, she wants me to show you some more of the sun. Oop, I'm gonna do it this way. I think it looks all the same to me, Jen, but you're driving. All right, there it is. There's some more of the sky. And it's all there. So just to tell you a couple things that are coming up this week, I want to again give you a shout out on our newsletter. That's out every Monday, and you can subscribe to that. Just go to the Road Trekking blog, roadtrekking.com, and look on the right-hand column as you scroll down. You'll see a little form there where you can join the newsletter. You sign up tonight, it'll come to your inbox free tomorrow morning. More than 30,000 RVers are now reading that every Monday. And then Tuesday is our tips, our RV quick tip video right here on YouTube. We release that video. Every Wednesday, we release a video of our interview of the week. And I have a great podcast interview of the week. We'll have a video on that. We're going to call that episode You're Never Too Old. And it's about a delightful guy that we met last week up at our Algonquin Provincial Park gathering in Ontario. And you got to hear this guy's story and his advice to those who maybe have lost a spouse and wonder, can I still go out there? Or maybe those getting up in age and all of that stuff. Kind of fits in with what we've talked about here. He talks about being active and about always learning new things and not being afraid to do stuff and having a can-do attitude. You're never too old for this lifestyle, and I can't wait to put that together and for you to see that. That'll be I should get T-shirts. You know, Chris, our graphics guy, if you're listening, we need one. You're never too old. That's a good one. Just put that on. That'll get people's mind running. We'll start a T-shirt with that. But anyway, that will be on the podcast Wednesday, and also we do a video version of the interview right here on the YouTube channel. And then Thursday, our main video of the week, which this week will be my kind of debrief. Jennifer and I, our experience at Hershey, what we saw, what we liked, what caught our fancy, a couple things we didn't like, and some fun we had along the way as we met many of you. So got a busy week ahead. We hope that you guys have a great week. And remember, fall is the best time to go out and enjoy the RV lifestyle. Particularly the month of October. Almost every campground, oh my gosh, now look at the sky. Look at that. She's absolutely right. See that? Almost every campground in October has special Halloween gatherings where everybody decorates their rigs, and they are really fun. In fact, I'm told that the couple of weekends before Halloween every year are among the busiest camping times in America these days. So get out there and enjoy it. Fall colors still starting. I meant to say we saw the start of them up at Algonquin, up in Ontario last week. And even down here in Ohio, I noticed a couple of the hardwoods had a little bit of color just starting to creep through. So great time to get out there. Jennifer loves fall. All right. It's about time for me to take over and drive. How many miles we got to our daughter's house? 149. So this will be saved to our YouTube channel. You can come back and watch it, and we're all there. Let me make sure I didn't miss any important questions I need to do. Oh, here we go. This is a friend of ours, Doug McClendon from Texas. You and Jen are inspiring Glenda and I. Your face looks thinner. Doug, that's why I always liked you. Hope to hook up in Big Bend. We'll see you in Texas, and we'll have fun in Big Bend. Yeah, we're going to get out there March, April. And what are you doing sitting in Texas? Come on east, and we'll have some fun someplace out there.
Come to Disney with us.
What's that?
Come to Disney with us.
Yeah, Doug, come to the Disney World gathering. We're all going to Disney World, Fort Wilderness. Make your own reservations in November, and that's really going to be fun. All of us at Disney without kids or grandkids. It's going to be awesome. Oh, listen, I got to keep doing this. Look at the sky now. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that great? I tell you, God does not make junk, does he? That is just spectacular. All right. I'm being a dork here as I go on sharing all that stuff. All right, here we go. Oh, gee, other questions. I think she's talking about the store. The prices seem inflated. Is it my imagination? Well, everything is inflated. I mean, are you talking about RV prices? Yeah, they had sale prices at the show, so those weren't inflated. They had some pretty good buys on many of them. You missed them because the show's over now, but you get what you pay for, I guess I would say. We always say,
If
yeah.
the prices are inflated, keep going.
Yeah.
Going.
Jennifer says if you think the prices are inflated, keep going. Try other dealers. Many of them are very happy to deal, particularly if they're dealing with inventory on their lot. They want to move it out of there. So if you're not ordering from the factory, and you're ordering from a lot, you've got a lot of power right there.
It's hard to compare one type.
Yeah.
Because they have different.
She's noticing it's hard to compare just one type because it's all different features and all that stuff. But they are expensive. Let's face it.
They're financing them for 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, okay. One last thing. I saw a number of dealers that were selling financing for 240 months. That is 20 years. 20-year financing on an RV? Think about that. I'm just saying, think about that and look at the interest rates. One of the interest rates was 6-point-something%. You do not want to get locked into that. So our advice always is if you can't do it new, which is always nice, buy used, and you can shop around, find some great deals, and then trade up. That's always the thing. But please talk to a financial advisor, and don't just want one of these things so bad that you're going to sign up for 20 years of financing. That's just not right. I'm sorry. I know I get all my dealers mad at me when I say stuff like that, but think about it. I don't have to say any more, do I? All right, and I'm not going to. Somebody says I usually get knocked 30% off the price when I start to negotiate, no matter what. Yeah, if you like negotiating, a lot of us don't like negotiating. I don't. If I have to bargain with you to the price, how do I know that if I held out longer, I wouldn't get more? So, I don't bargain. I just kind of shop for the price. All right, I'm going to go look at this side.
Full price because you're so excited.
What did you say?
I said you just pay the full price because you want it so much and you're excited.
She said I play the full price because I want it so much and I'm excited. That's probably the case. Like, I just bought the new iPhone. Do you know that I bought the new iPhone? The new iPhone X Max? No, the iPhone, whatever it is, the new Max version. Yeah, I should have it in about 10 days. That will be fun. Hey, I just love having all of you guys around. Good advice. Allentown girl, talk to your credit union before financing. Credit unions will always give you good advice. Yeah, talk to them. That's a good place to go. All right, enough of all of this. This video will be recorded and it will get put up on the podcast. I will also put it up on the blog tomorrow on the roadtrekking.com blog. We love you guys, and for those of you who watched this, that saw us in Hershey, thank you so much for all the encouragement. we'll be back next Sunday night, and we should be from our Sticks and Bricks, because we're off to Elkhart a week from.
Couple days after.
You know, when you come to think of it, we might not. I guess we will be on the road next weekend too. We're heading to Elkhart, Indiana. It's a busy life. All right. God bless everybody. Jennifer, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right. And it's about my turn to drive, and off for home we go. So long, everybody. Thank you for watching.